does not have any attachments on it, such as a reactor or a tech lab, so he is just going to produce one unit at a time, and he's only going to have the 2 base units available to him, the Viking and the Medevac. So we'll see if he's able to do anything with this. But for the time being, it looks like Handlebar may have a hard time getting back into this game because he is just continuing to be out-incomed right now, I guess, if that is a word, I'm not sure. But if we look at the income overlay again here, you can see that he is just way behind on the income, between 500 and 600 minerals per minute behind what the Zerg player Crazyjeff is. And it looks like he is going to try to sneak some Marines and Reapers into the back of Crazyjeff's base. But Crazyjeff has been pretty good about responding to these attacks so far. So unless he gets caught off guard a little bit here, it looks like he may not lose this hatchery yet, which it seems that Handlebar is very, very intent on trying to take this hatchery down. Although currently it looks like the Zerglings are out of place, so he may be able to get it. That hatchery very low on health already, and it looks like he is going to focus fire that hatchery down. And oh my goodness, he loses that dropship because the Hydra is just getting down here in time along with the Queen to put some damage on that. So he lost all the Marines and the Reapers inside that dropship, which is a pretty big blow considering how small his army was to begin with. On the unit overlay here, we can see, and he says, thought you were going for my main, so he was getting ready to defend that, but apparently that was not indeed where he was going for. But anyways, taking a look at the unit overlay here, we can see that there are very few units on the map for Handlebar right now. He basically has 2 Marauders, 1 Reaper, and 12 Marines right now, which those Marines are not going to be very strong against the Hydra, Ling, and Baneling combo that we see from Crazyjeff right now. I'm sorry, I keep getting these guys' names mixed up. But anyways, it looks like this is going to draw out for a little bit longer here, although both players seem to be, with the exception of the harassment from Handlebar, both players seem to be content with sticking inside their base for the time being. But once again, a lot of drones on the mineral line for Crazyjeff. I'm not sure why he doesn't transfer some of these back down to his natural here, because it looks like the hatchery is just about finished. So I would guess that we would see this coming down fairly shortly here. And these spine crawlers actually taking some damage because the creep is going away now, and he is not spawning any creep with these overlords over top of them. So those spine crawlers are actually taking some unnecessary damage from that creep that is missing from underneath them. But it looks like another medevac out on the map right now. And in the upper left here, there's actually 1 Reaper. I'm not sure if he's using this to scout or if he's storing this away for some kind of a surprise attack. But anyways, he has got that out there, and the natural has finished, but still no drones being transferred over to that extra base. And it looks like Crazyjeff has a lot of excess minerals right now. I'm kind of surprised he's not spending them on anything, but it looks like Handlebar going to move in right now, and that dropship immediately getting focus fire down, and so many Banelings right now just absolutely running through most of that Terran Marine Marauder ball, and he was absolutely able to take out everything with the exception of 2 Marauders, which are going to get focus fire down very quickly by a few more Zerglings. And the Terran player, Handlebar, is just in really bad shape right now. He has not been able to macro up a big enough army to put a serious threat on this map yet, and Crazyjeff has just been in control the entire game, just basically playing a very solid defensive game right now, despite the fact that he has a lot of extra minerals. So not the best macro play that we have ever seen, but he does have solid control of this game, and it looks like if he is able to win game number 2, he will be moving on to the round of 16. But this game continuing to drag out here a little bit. I'm not sure why Crazyjeff has not yet pushed on the map. He has a decent amount of Banelings, and with the help of his Hydras and Zerglings, he should pretty easily be able to break this Terran wall right now, especially since the barracks is already 400 HP down, and there's only 1 supply depot and 1 tech lab, which is also slightly damaged. So it seems like he would be able to get up into this base relatively easily with those Banelings, Zerglings, and Hydralisks, but he apparently is going to decide not to do that. And there's 1 medevac moving out across the map, but there's nothing in it, so I guess he's just using it to scout for the time being. But of course there is nothing to scout really, with the exception of that expansion, which he is already aware of. And 1 Overlord moving into the base, once again going to sacrifice an Overlord to gain a little bit of intel. He is of course going to see the factory, the barracks, and the extra command center that's being built right now. So Handlebar just now making it around to getting his first expansion up and running. Although he is almost mined out at his main already, so he could be in some serious trouble here if Crazyjeff is able to deny this expansion, because he will basically be starved out of this map. And Crazyjeff continuing to macro up with this Zergling, Hydra, and Baneling army right now. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting any roaches or mutalisks in the mix or anything like that. So just going to stick with this very basic yet powerful army. We'll see if he's able to break down this Terran wall here shortly. But not a whole lot going on right now. Both players just kind of sitting in their base and content to not play the aggressor for the time being. So we'll see if these players decide to get a little creative here shortly. Although it looks like a lot more banelings being morphed for Crazyjeff right now. He is going to go for a serious bust on the front of this Terran entrance. But we'll see how long it takes him to get down there. It looks like he does have pretty good saturation on his mineral line at the expansion now, but he has not yet started taking a second expansion yet. And once again, Handlebar moving out across the map with his infantry army, but this is not going to be nearly enough to deal with the volume of units that Crazyjeff has sitting at his entrance right now. Although it looks like he is going to go up to the high yield and take this out, as Crazyjeff is just now trying to get down an expansion, and no, he doesn't cancel it. So there's 300 minerals down the drain right there. But it looks like Crazyjeff is going to be in pretty good shape still, just because he is in commanding lead as far as the econ game goes right now. And this Terran army apparently is not going to move out. They're going to sit by the xel'naga watchtower and try to keep an eye on this side of the map and make sure that the Zerg player Crazyjeff does not expand at these high yield minerals. Meanwhile though, Handlebar has tried to take the expansion up in the top, or I'm sorry, the bottom right here. It is blocked by these destructible rocks, so in order for the Zerg player to get up there, he will have to break those down or get some sort of transportation to allow him to get up there. But of course he does have one Zergling in this area, but he is not going to be able to see this expansion because this is higher ground than where this Zergling is located, so he will be unaware of that until he's able to get some units up there to scout, of course. But a couple of medevacs coming across the map to join this infantry army of Marines and Marauders right now, and it looks like he has not gotten any more upgrades beyond the 1-1 for the army and attack, or I'm sorry, for the defense and attack. And it looks like these huge amount of banelings is moving out now. Going to try to break down this entrance, which I don't imagine he will have any problem doing with this amount of banelings, although this baneling's going off course slightly there. But he is moving up into this Terran base now. A few of those banelings going down, but as you can see, plenty of banelings to take down that entrance, and it looks like he is just going to absolutely steamroll pretty much everything inside the mineral line and the Terran base here. Although didn't focus them enough, it looks like he almost took down the command center and refinery, did some damage to some supply depots, but didn't really focus enough to take down a whole lot of things. And it looks like Handlebar is actually going to respond by putting some pressure on the front of Crazyjeff's base, but unfortunately he just does not have enough to do any significant damage. So it looks like Crazyjeff still in very solid control of this game right now, and if he is able to get up into this base again, he will do some serious damage here. But it looks like Handlebar just now getting around to repairing his command center so that he does not lose it. And actually it looks like Handlebar now has an excess of minerals. I'm not sure exactly why these players aren't using their minerals, but there are Zerglings in the base now of Handlebar. It looks like they are going to clean up the rest of these buildings right here, and he is still unaware of the expansion in the upper right here. Or, I'm sorry, the lower right. I keep thinking it's the upper right because it is on the high ground, but it is in the lower right corner of the map. And the Hydral's moving over here now, going to pick off this floating command center, which was already very low on HP. So that orbital command going down, and it looks like the remaining tech buildings for Handlebar being flown away right now. So basically Crazyjeff going to pick off the remaining buildings that he can with these Zerglings, taking out the supply depots. And it looks like Crazyjeff actually may be moving over here to take down these destructible rocks. Yes, he is. And Handlebar trying to get down a couple bunkers to help defend against this, but he has no barracks in this area right now. So by the time his barracks gets over there and lands, if it makes it, I did not realize how low it was in HP, but even if it makes it over there, it looks like Crazyjeff is going to be able to break down these destructible rocks before he's able to get anything in those bunkers anyways. And he's frantically trying to build another barracks inside his base, but the destructible rock's already gone, so it looks like Crazyjeff going to be able to move up here and just run through this base without any issues at all. And these Hydras staying back behind to take out these last few tech buildings that Handlebar has flying up, and Handlebar is going to GG. So Crazyjeff is going to move on to round number 2 here, the round of 16. So we're going to move on to the next matchup. GG.